Hello and welcome to another episode of Dafuq Did I Just Watch? With your host as always, Kyle McLemore. This week we'll be recapping and reviewing the long-awaited sequel to the 2018 film The MEG. That's right, we're talking MEG 2, The Trench. MEG 2, The Trench sees the return of several original cast members from the first film, including Jason Statham, Cliff Curtis, Paige Kennedy. Even the little girl from the first film, Shuya Sophia makes her return to the trench. But don't worry, MEG 2 also brings some fresh faces like Sergio Peris-Mencheta. The Trench also introduces Jing in arguably the leading role. I honestly couldn't tell who the leading man in this movie is. Is it Jason Statham or is it Jing? Honestly, it's a toss-up. It is perfectly 50-50. They're both kind of the leading man, and it's a little bit weird. If anything, Jing is probably the better of the two. He's a little bit more leading man. I think maybe that's what was throwing it off a little bit. Is it's Jason Statham was definitely the main character in the previous film. So in number 2, he's kind of almost pushed to the side a little bit. It's mostly Jing, which isn't a bad thing. Jing is great in the film. He is surprisingly, only because I don't know anything about him, but he just really surprised me with how good he is. I think I just expected him to just be a villain the whole time. I was oh yeah, he's gonna turn evil. And so when he just keeps being heroic, it's just it's kind of surprising. Again, it's just I don't know, if you were rewriting the movie, you could probably just write it as one guy, as just Jason Statham, but I don't know, dude. I'm feeling very they're trying to market it to other audiences, so it's when this goes overseas, you're probably gonna see the more Jing cut, and maybe Jason Statham will be the background guy. And as for the rest of the cast, it's sort of meh. Now, I didn't say MEG, I said meh, as in as in Cliff Curtis is in it, I guess. He's just reading monitors the whole time. Jonas, come in. Jonas. That's kind of him the whole movie. He's there, but not really. Do we need him? Nah. Is he there because he's in the first one? Sure. Sergio Peris-Mencheta is a very interesting component in this film because he's sort of the arch nemesis to our Jason Statham. He's kind of our bad guy, the opposite side of the spectrum to Jason Statham or Jing. But he's also nobody cares. Nobody respects this dude even a little bit. And it takes away so much from his character that even the audience is get this guy out of here, dude. Because when he's introduced, he's oh, Jason Statham, I remember you and I've thought about you every day of my life since you ruined it. And Jason Statham is literally I don't know who you are, dude. I have no idea. You are nothing to me. Which is instantly just okay. Why do I care then, dude? If Jason Statham is who is this guy? Then why do I care? It's weird, right? It's weird to have a villain so insignificant to the hero. Paige Kennedy is probably the only factor in this movie that gets improved. Paige Kennedy is the only character in this movie that has evolved and who has gotten better from the first movie. Paige Kennedy is so much more than just the comedic relief that he was in the first movie. He shows up oh, you called me for number 2 and didn't think I'd be prepared? His character has taken jujitsu. He shows up with a desert eagle. He's got supplies for days. It's actually pretty cool to see a character evolve like that. It's a shame that he's literally the only one. You would think that everything from the original would get turned up, right? We get double the Jason Statham with our new Jing. We get Paige Kennedy coming back all upgraded. And in this one, You would think that we don't have just one MEG, we've got 3. You're talking 3 times the amount of shark attacks, theoretically, when in reality, I'm pretty sure there's less shark action in this film than there was in the first, dude. There's even a giant octopus, bro. A huge kraken-sized octopus that is also barely in this movie, dude. The main threat of the movie isn't the MEG or the MEGs, plural. Like, it's not the multiple megalodons. It's not the ultimate kraken octopus thing. No. It's these prehistoric salamander things, dude. Like, what? That's like the only thing that they're fighting this whole movie. The whole movie, they're like, where's the MEG? Oh, it's stalking us just outside of range. What happened to the MEG? Oh, it's there. It's just watching us from afar for some reason. Dude, when that giant octopus comes out of the trench, it's like, bro, oh, giant octopus. And then it vanishes for like a solid hour that we don't see it ever again. And you would think that a movie called The Trench would be like more about the trench, right? Like, that's one of the only things that's cool about this movie is like this unknown trench where all these crazy creatures live and just all these unlimited discoveries that we could make. But the movie spends like 3 minutes in the trench and then that's it. So much of this movie is just them like in a submarine or them in this underwater laboratory or like mining facility. It's just so much of them being trapped underwater with nothing happening other than just being trapped underwater. And then it's like, okay, we have our big climactic fight, dude. We got our ultimate kaiju fight. Megalodon versus the Kraken. Like, ultimate battle at the end. And dude, it lasts less than like 8 seconds, bro. It is also sped up. It's like fast forwarded. It's so weird, dude. It is like the whole movie, everything is going so slow. And the shark is like swimming all slow because it's so goddamn big. And then out of nowhere, dude, this megalodon and this giant octopus are just like tangled on each other, flying across the screen at speeds up until then had never been shown before. So it's like finally at the end we get our giant CGI fight, but it is so fast moving and like Transformers like in your face that you can't even tell what's happening, dude. And then it just ends by like them just diving into the depths where you can't see it anymore. And it's like, dude, you had so little shark action in this movie. There was so little shark action going on that I thought we would have this big thing at the end. And it's like you were building to this thing that lasted less than 10 seconds of just like a blurry, fast-forwarded fight. So let's hit MEG 2, The Trench, with our overall rating. The Trench takes like all the little pieces of the first movie that worked and turns them down, dude. Like, it reduces all the cool stuff from the first movie. Jason Statham, cut in half, dude. We'll make Jason Statham 2 people for some reason. You would think that there'd be triple the amount of shark action, triple the amount of MEG, and yet there's somehow less shark action than there was in the first movie. So what do we do here, dude? We've got less shark, we've got less Statham, we've got less of everything that was like even a little bit good about the first film. That's right, overall we're gonna have to hit MEG 2, The Trench, with a D. That's right, coming in below average. There is such bad pacing in this film, dude. Like, you'd think it'd be like nothing but like adrenaline pumping shark action, run away from the horrible Kraken adventure. Instead, it's like a really slow paced, trapped at the bottom of the sea kind of a movie, dude. It's just them like always trapped, and there are no giant monsters until the last minute, and it's literally less than like a minute of just like fast moving. Well, I can't even tell what's fighting right now. If you felt differently about MEG 2, The Trench, feel free to comment down below. And if you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button, as it's much appreciated. I am your host as always, Kyle McLemore. We'll see you next time at the movies.